Hello, today we're going to be doing LeetCode problem 189, which is rotate array. Okay, this is part of the top interview 150 questions on LeetCode. Given an integer array nums, rotate the array to the right by k steps, where k is a non-negative. So in the first example, you have an array from 1 to 7, k is 3, so we're going to rotate it 3 places. So you move the 1, 2, 3. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the last 3 elements are at the beginning. That is pretty much it. So in example 2, k is 2. It doesn't matter if the numbers are positive or negative. You're going to move them 2 places to the right. So I thought I'd try something different this time, and instead of me fumbling through the code, I would just explain the code that I've written. One thing to note also is that I switched this from k to rotation. I like descriptive variables instead of k and x and y. I do keep the I though in the loops. Anyway, so the first thing we need to do is get the length of the array. And I assign that to the integer length. Okay, so now what we need to do is understand that, let's say k is 1,000 or rotation is 1,000. We don't really care that it rotates through, what is this, 7? We don't care that it rotates through, the 7 elements 1,000 times. We just care about what's at the very end. So in case steps are greater than the array length, for example, if array length is 5 and array rotation is 8, we only care about the remainder since a rotation of 5 puts us back to the original position. So in this case, if it was 8, once it hit 5, it would wrap around to the beginning. So we do the modulus. So in other words, in the first example, if k is 3 and the length of the array is 7, well, rotation is 3 mod 7. And anything where the divisor is greater than the dividend, then you just take the divisor. So in this case, the rotation would be 3. Now we need to create an array to hold the rotated elements. I called that rotated. All right, so now we need to fill the rotated array with the rotated values. So this is really the meat of the problem. So basically, we take the index of the number and add the number of rotations to it. So in the case of this 1, we need to rotate it 3, so 1, 2, 3. So we're going to take the element at position 0 in this case and add 3 to it. We want to make sure it doesn't surpass the length of the array. If it does, then we need to find the remainder and add that to the beginning of the array. So as an example, I used, if the length is 5 and index is 5, if we assign that, if we just assign it directly, we get an index out of range. So what we do is do the modulus, and that would take us back to 0, which is position 1. So we loop through, I is greater than I is less than length. The rotated is I plus rotation, modulus length, and then we're going to assign that to the value in num. So this is going to rotate it, the number of spaces, and then assign that value. And at the end here, we just need to repopulate the nums array. So I'm going to submit this, or I'm going to run this to show that it works. So we got 2 test cases. Are successful. Now I'm going to debug it real quick. Okay, using the first example, so I put it up here as well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to loop through here. Rotation is going to be 3. So we have 3 modulus 7, which is just 3. So we're going to create a new array, and you notice over here it's just 7 zeros. Okay, so now we're going to go through. So I in the beginning is 0 plus the rotation of 3. So rotated is 4 modulus 7, so it's just going to be 4. So if you look at the rotated array here, watch when I click next, it's going to puts a 1 there in the 0 in the 3rd position. All right, so now we go back again. In this case, I is 1 plus the rotation is 4. Modulus 7 is going to be 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So it's going to put the 2 right next to the 1. And we'll just go on and so forth. 3 and then 4. Okay, now I is 4, rotation is 3. So now we have 7. So 7 minus the length is 7. Modulo 7 is actually 0. So this is going to take the number 5 and put it in position 0. If you watch, click down, and there it is in the rotated array. I do the same thing with 6 and 7, and then that's it. So now this is just putting the values in rotated back in num. So just click to this quick. And you look at the nums variable over here, you'll see that it's changing with the values that it needs to be for the rotation. And that's it. I'll submit it. Oh, gotta get it out of the debugger. Submit. And we're in roughly the 50% range. So, well, hopefully this was helpful and you like the better format. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.